What's up, guys? Surma11 here with my review of the Boondocks Season 4, Episode 7, Freedomland. So, I'm going to be doing a quick summary, or as quick as possible, because reviews for this are getting a little bit too long. They've been long since the beginning, and I want them to be shorter, maybe 5 or 6 minutes. That's better, and I think more people will watch them. 10-minute reviews are more for people who have a larger audience, because the first review got over 1,000 views because people were looking for the episode, and now they know this guy's posting reviews, not the episode. So yeah, I have another video to put out which I'm actually more interested in, so I'm gonna try to get this done. Gotta breathe. So Riley and Granddad are sitting around being lazy. They're watching Basketball Wives, which is I think that's a real show. This season is kind of being too realistic with what's in it. Like every episode has a parody or just a bad plot. The Kim Kardashian episode, that's way too close. The Chris Brown thing, that one was kind of pretty boy flizzy, but still, that was Chris Brown. I mean, you gotta be more subtle with your parodies, in my opinion. So Ruckus tries to pick up the family for Eddie, but they don't go with him. And then Ruckus pulls out some handcuffs, and then Robert, I guess he puts him in the handcuffs and kicks him out. And then the next scene is them being taken out of the house at night by the police, which I did like that scene. And what Eddie is doing, he's calling the Freemans in, and he's going to put them in his new amusement park, which I think is a parody of Disneyland. That's what I'm guessing. And they're going to become slaves. One thing that seemed odd was that the slaves in the Freedomland, they were all different races. I'm not racist or anything, but I'm sure a lot of people have the same thought process. If you think of a slave, you normally think of black people, but I guess it's better to have all races in there so it doesn't seem entirely racist. Because I thought the first, what was that, the second episode of the season, I thought that was kind of shocking. They become slaves. I don't know, it's just like things like that. I don't know if you should air those on TV. Like, you may think it's funny and everything, but I don't know how many people will still be like cool with that. Yeah, they're becoming slaves. Haha, yeah, let's go. But throughout the season so far, they didn't really seem like slaves. They still lived in their house and everything. So they're at the slave. They're at the park. They're not at the park. They're like by some houses or whatever in this slave park, Freedomland, and Tom's there with them. And I didn't know how they were gonna put Tom into this because I saw like the trailer and everything, and Tom was with them in the slave clothes. But the way Tom was put into the plot of this episode and everything was he signed up for Freedomland because he's like a history nut or whatever. And then Ruckus is just loving this. He's throwing the whip around like crazy. You can hear the whip cracking and everything in the episode. And one of the scenes seemed really ironic that, Riley said that he can be called Toby or Obama or Cleveland. Toby, I feel like that's just a slave name people go to. Tobias, Toby is kind of the same thing. Obama, as the president, I don't know. I think that one's kind of offensive to the president and everything. Kind of disrespectful. What was that, like season 4, last season? Yeah, last season started off with like an Obama parody, I believe, or they were talking about Obama being president, and that was kind of a big central plot of the episode, I believe. And then Cleveland, I thought of Cleveland Brown, from Family Guy and the Cleveland Show and everything. And Huey wasn't really following the rules that Ruckus was putting out, and I kind of wanted Huey to fight Ruckus again, but I doubt we'll get another fight between them. This isn't a big fight series. This is more like for comedy and everything. And while this season hasn't really been that funny, this is more of a comedy-oriented series, so they're not gonna have that many fights. And if they do have fights, they're gonna be extremely short. So basically, different stuff is going down. Slave kids are being kicked down the hill in a bag, and I'm not sure what this is a reference to. Dead bodies or something, that they ever put slaves in bags and just throw them down the hill. It seems kind of stupid, but I mean, they did a lot of stupid stuff back then. Robert's playing a violin, and Huey and some other kids have some clown makeup on, and they're being waterboarded. Basically, they're in the crate, and they can't stop the stream of water, so you have to try to breathe and not breathe the water in, or you're gonna drown. You can drown someone that way. Yeah, you can definitely drown someone by waterboarding them, because you get all it takes is it just takes one drop and you can drown. I don't know if you guys knew that. And if you notice, a lot of footage from this episode was in the trailer for this season. And I was thinking, what if this is the best episode for the season, and the quality declines after this? I think it's certainly possible, but I feel like the episode's been getting better and better. So maybe they'll keep this up, and we'll actually get some really good episodes later in the season. How long is the season gonna be? Boondocks doesn't really have that many episodes. It's not gonna be like 20 something. It's gonna be kind of low, I think. Possibly, I don't know. I don't know. The Boondocks goes in the 20s. Not sure. So Ruckus is taking them to their new housing arrangements, and I like this part when he said the word slave tastes good in his mouth. The character's so racist, but I don't know. People just like the character, and they're in the cabins talking and everything. And I don't know. Tom was talking about like how he was talking about like how he was gonna stay and help them or something, or how it didn't really matter, something like that. And then Sarah buys Tom's freedom, and then he gets the heck out of there. And like 1 second, he's just out of there. And I don't know if this is a Huey episode or a family episode, because it seems focused on Huey. He's narrating more, which he wasn't really doing early in the season. But there's focus on Huey. There's a little bit of focus on Riley and Granddad, so I'm not sure. But they're having meetings at nights. They're having meetings. Wow, I actually typed that. They're having meetings at night like real slaves, because I think this is something slaves actually did at night. They met, and then they were gonna like overthrow their masters or whatever. And then they have this scene where Huey's bargaining with Eddie, or Eddie's bargaining with Huey is probably a better way of saying it. But Eddie isn't really offering anything good. I'm pretty sure Huey just wants his freedom, and he's offering like acres of land and like a job for Granddad, but a job where he gets nothing out of it. It's very stupid. But Eddie brings up a good argument, though. Like, all the people there are in debt to him, but living like a slave probably isn't the best way of, getting that debt fixed up and everything. Next scene, or the next day, starts off with Ruckus allowing people to break Huey, since he's not giving in. He's just like that one person who's just not giving in and everything. And I like it because it kind of stays true to his character. You don't really see Huey that emotional or messed up and everything. I remember I think it was the one episode about his best friend. That was kind of one of the episodes where he was messed up. But other than that, the character's been pretty, straightforward. He's not going to be broken and everything. But Eddie comes up on the stage, and he wants to kill him with an axe, or just hit him with the axe. And apparently that's historically accurate. I've never heard of that. And Huey's tied up, by the way, if I didn't say that. But then Huey, he flips with the rope, and then he kicks him in the face, and that was a scene that was in the trailer. And then Granddad comes in, cuts Huey down, and he whistles, and all the slaves like break out and start attacking people and cops. And the Boondocks really has fighting scenes, so it's good to see Huey fight some guards. But the fighting seems a little bit overdone, or maybe Huey's just too strong, because a lot of blood comes out when he kicks the guards. I don't know if it's just like the art style of the show, but I don't know if I really like that, or him kicking someone in the face, automatically breaking a large amount of their teeth. The latter might be possible, but I don't know about the first one, with all that blood and everything. And then Eddie escapes, which makes me think he'll come back. He's like, Ruckus, get me out of here. And I just hope that Sony and Adult Swim haven't forgotten about all the characters in this series. I know it's not that type of series, but it would have been nice to see like Ed struggle between helping the Freemans or his dad. That would be kind of cool. I want to see Jasmine again. I want to see, what was her name? Sydney, I believe, the white girl. That sounds so racist, but yeah. And that's about it. There's not that much. Like the last scene is like Huey talking to Ruckus, and the last line of the episode is supposed to be like, the last line of the episode was freedom, and I feel like they wanted that to be epic and everything, but it was okay. Guess what, guys? Next week is another Robert episode, and things like this make me kind of want to drop the show, because all the episodes are focused on him. The next episode, he gets a phone, it's Siri, and the thing is about the show is that it focused on a lot of characters. It focused on Huey. It focused on Riley. It focused on Granddad. Whenever Sydney was involved, it usually Riley was involved. It focused on Tom. Tom had the whole anal rape thing going on. You can make some interesting plots with that, like the jail episode, which was cool. Granddad normally gets into a woman or something, and then they have an episode about that, which they've already done numerous times. They focused on Ruckus for an episode, like racist stuff and everything. They focused a little bit on Jasmine. I don't know if she got her own episode, but when she had that stand when it was hot. I don't know who else. I think that's it. They focused on Sarah, like the usher and everything. No, that was the Tom episode. Sarah's kind of more of a minor character. And the iPhone episode would have worked better for this week, since WWDC was this week. But Apple didn't really announce anything cool for me. I was hoping for like an iPhone 6 or iPod Touch 6, next generation iPad. And, I spent my time looking for WWDC because I can't watch it because I don't have that type of technology. I think that's like for Apple products, possibly, where you can watch it. You need to have some kind of program to run that, and I couldn't run it. But I need to finish up this review. It's going to be, it's 11 minutes. I thought it was at 10 minutes. I got to finish this up. The Boondocks doesn't really approach story arcs well, in my opinion. They could have done this episode right after the second episode of the season. The episode when they returned into slaves. They could have done this episode right after that. Because all the parodies and stuff between this have been really stupid. Really stupid, not very well thought out. That's all I have to say. But the episodes are getting better, but the parodies a little bit stupid. Episodes are getting better and better. This is the best episode so far, but that's not really saying that much for this show. Anyways, that's my review. Thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe for more reviews and everything. And if you want to stalk me, check the description. So I will see you guys later. Peace.